All right, everybody, we are currently monitoring Major Hurricane Erin as it moves northwest in the Atlantic. Right now is a very weird presentation as it is overcoming some drier and winter. You can see those new vertical hot towers developing on the southeast side of the core. Those will fully enclose the core, I think. Again, the system kind of like takes random unexpected turns. Sorry, I'm having really bad allergies, but with its development, we're gonna see this go kind of this westerly track right now. This is not going out to sea as of now, with how it's moving direction wise. It is supposed to go out to sea, so in forecast terms, meaning in the future it will go out to sea based on current trends, which I don't think they're really going to change. The most really, besides for something I'm about to talk about, is it skimming North Carolina coast, which still will be a very bad situation. We already have state of emergencies issued for some parts of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. But yeah, you can see this eye is trying to clear. If you look at Dorvac satellite imagery, you can see it really trying to warm in the center of the storm. You can see those vertical towers really starting here. It hasn't had much consistent convection, but that is expected to change, I think. Looking at our visible IR footage, you could see that eye. There is a definite eye. You see that new VHT start to enclose the eye. This is a very big system. This is like 500, 600 miles across, based on this. I don't really know the exact size. But yeah, this is a very large system here. We could see some extreme swelling of the coasts of the Atlantic, United States. Again, this storm's kind of been a puzzle. The NHC yesterday was struggling to govern the storm's path as it kept wobbling to the west, and right now it still is wobbling to the west. You can see it goes north and then it goes straight west once that new development happens. Right now it's not being steered by much of anything besides a low pressure system or a high pressure system of some sort, steering it kind of towards the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos islands right here. The most that will hit these islands, in my opinion, is the South Bahamas or Turks and Caicos, like the northern parts with an eye wall. I don't think we'll see any landfall from this based on how far to the northwest it's already going. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing. So yeah, you're probably wondering why we're looking at this. This is the surface analysis from 21Z. This is the latest surface analysis. This is that low pressure system that's currently going to try to guide the system. Of course, low pressure systems move the other direction. Almost forgot for a second. But yeah, we have that weakening and high pressure. We have high pressure up here. I don't know exactly how strong any of that is. But the storm is expected to get turned to the northwest. My cursor isn't showing. Well, I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. Here, let me just do this. Okay, so we're gonna have this go. Right now it is about right here. The forecast is it going out to sea this way. Again, the farther west I think this goes is that sort of thing. That's the farthest west I think it goes. Maybe down here it may do that and come in. It depends on when it gets steered north. And another thing I want to talk about, we have this frontal situation going here. This storm, very unlikely, but you have to kind of, with forecasting hurricanes, you have to consider every possible outcome. And it could just latch onto this frontal boundary and go further to the south. However, this is sort of a mixed, iffy forecast. I don't want to say anything right now, but I just want people in Florida to be not prepared, but watching out, maybe preparing for some impacts. It really depends. It's going to be a scheme of the moment type of thing, but I really think that people in Florida should really be watching out especially in North Carolina, people right here needs to be preparing right there. They need to be repairing regardless if the storm makes landfall there or not, or even gets close. This storm is going to be really large. I'm talking maybe that big, except further to the east, of course. I was a little too far inland. I'm talking like that big. And we're going to have swells going on to the Outer Banks of North Carolina that are going to be 20 feet. This is going to be a very significant situation for the Outer Banks, I think, and that's going to be the hardest hit area as of now, is going to be this hardest hit area in the United States. But yeah, these are the Bahamas. Of course, it's not hitting the Bahamas right now. It's going to just go this way. This is kind of like the channel it's going to pass through between the Bahamas and the United States. That's really what you want to see with storms that are positioned around this area, are going through this little passageway right here instead of directly hitting the United States. But of course, again, Erin right there. I'm going to draw my current cone of uncertainty. I have it up here. And honestly, I'll extend it into the Outer Banks. I don't know if the NHC has done that yet, but I definitely think that this is going to be our cone of uncertainty for the storm as of now. Or it could take a more path like that. This is another possible. This is probably a little better besides for it going over here. I don't expect it to hit the northeast at all. Of course, it's always possible, but it really depends. No models have it hitting the United States at landfall at all. No models have it coming up here into Cape Cod and making landfall there. No models have it really impacting this part of the United States that much. Just this part with some extreme upwelling, some extreme waves off the coast, high rip current risk for this whole area. I think maybe not down here, but high rip current risk for the Outer Banks right here down to South Carolina coast. So if you're planning on maybe doing a late summer vacation to these areas, please, I would highly suggest avoiding the waters for the next few days due to rip currents and extremely bad ocean conditions that are going to start setting in as Erin intensifies and grows larger. I'm gonna go back to something. Anyways, we are back to our satellite. Again, you can see that vertical watt tower right in the middle of your screen right there. That's like the little convection, the little burst that's happening in the center of the storm. That means it's fully enclosing its core. We're not gonna have any loose areas. Right now in IR imagery, it shows it fully enclosing. We're about to have a pretty nifty eye, I think. It's about to start really ramping up here within the next few hours. And I don't think this is true, but hurricanes do intensify faster at night, if I'm correct. I think that's what I heard. I'm not entirely 100% sure, but if that's true, then this could go from like category 3 right now to high-end category 4. Category 5 may be out of reach for its next intensification phase, but I definitely wouldn't rule it out completely. If we go to our analysis tools, ocean analysis, let's look at this real quick. This is our Nino index. You probably heard of La Nina and El Nino, basically the Enzo or southern. I'm not even gonna try. I'm really blinking right now. It's something. Pacific waters right now are cooler than average, which we're in. Basically, I think we're in a La Nina right now. We've been constantly dipping, and that's not really good for hurricane season. As you may or may not know, hurricane season is usually worse when we have a La Nina, or the Atlantic hurricane season. Right now, the water temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico and Atlantic right here, it's hard to see. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'll zoom in. It's low quality, but it'll do. You can see the water temperatures in the North Atlantic. In the Gulf, you can see the more pink. that means it's hotter. Water temperatures are hotter down towards the MDR, in between northern South America and western Africa. They're a little cooler. That's gonna prevent us from having like extremely powerful storms down there. I think this season, mainly the activity this season will be east of Florida, where we have Erin right now, and in the Gulf of Mexico. I personally think that's going to be where we have the most activity. And this year is not looking too good. This year could be a very impactful hurricane season, like the last. 2024 overall was a very impactful weather season. We had a pretty active tornado season in the United States, and we had a significant hurricane season with hurricanes like Milton. It was a complete disaster in North Carolina and northern South Carolina. And we had Milton, which was a storm that rapidly intensified. You probably heard that also over the last few days due to Erin's rapid intensification that took it from a tropical storm to a Category 5 within a little over 24 hours. But yeah, again, this year's gonna be pretty impactful in my opinion. Not gonna be one of those tame hurricane seasons. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this forecast. Sorry I haven't been uploading much or posting much at all. I haven't felt like it. Plus, yesterday I didn't do anything since I was busy. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. I will see you in the next forecast video, most likely coming tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. And see y'all.